There are some things on my desk that I wish I had gotten way earlier because a lot of these have helped me be more productive, get more work done in less time, and others have just overall improved the experience of working on my desk. So let's start with the first one, the desk. Now, the one I have is from Office, and it's a really nice desk, but the point I want to emphasize over here is having a sit and stand desk because yes, they can help you work while sitting or standing, which is nice, but I think the one thing that often gets ignored about these desks is how adaptable they are. So they're perfect for pretty much every person, doesn't matter how tall or short you are, because you can perfectly adjust it to the right height that works for you. And this obviously allows you to sit in the most ergonomic position, which is very important. I like to believe that because we spend so much time working at our desks, they should be able to adapt to you rather than you having to adapt to them. So like an average standard desk is made for an average person, and you can't really adjust the height to your liking. So you kind of have to work with the desk. You're going to have to adjust yourself to it. And that's not how I think it should be. The second thing I want to talk about is a desk shelf. And this one's kind of funny because I actually didn't like them at all. Like I used to hate them because of the way they looked. But when I tried one for the first time myself, my opinion completely changed because I actually started liking them. And it makes sense because it actually adds so much space to your desk. Like a lot of times I'll just put my MacBook, iPad, or many other things on it, and it just frees up so much more space that allows me to work more freely. But speaking of creating more space, a monitor arm can also help you do that. You see, while most monitor stands today do all kinds of fancy things, they go up and down, twist, tilt, rotate, and all of that, they do take up a lot of space. And normally the bigger your monitor tends to get, the bigger the stand also gets. But a monitor arm can help you regain some of that valuable space on your desk. And it actually goes with the idea of being able to adjust to you rather than you having to adjust to it. So you can still put your monitor in the perfect position, the best viewing angle, whether you're sitting or standing, which is nice if you spend a lot of time staring at your screen. If that is the case, then you might also want to upgrade your monitor because it will most likely make a huge difference, just like it did for me. This is a 4K 27-inch monitor from Dell, and it's a really nice monitor, but there are mainly two key features that it has. One of them is that it has a built-in USB-C hub at the back. So if you're going to use it as an external monitor for a laptop, you can connect your laptop with just one USB-C cable, and you can use all the ports that are at the back of the monitor. And number two is that this monitor is very color accurate, and that's what has made the biggest difference for me. I'm sure you can tell that I edit a lot of videos, and having a color accurate monitor has been a huge game changer. But maybe you don't edit videos, so why should you get a monitor? Well, two reasons. Number one, it will actually improve your overall viewing experience and the time you spend at your desk, because not only will everything be more sharper, things will most likely be easier to read, and whatever content you watch, videos, movies, whatever, it will actually look a lot better. And number two, if you are a gamer especially, then having a high refresh rate monitor will actually most likely help you in your games. And by the way, if you like this wallpaper, this is actually from my wallpaper pack that I recently launched. I spent like many weeks working on them, and I'm just happy the way they turned out. I'm really proud of it. And even the ones for the phones, they're custom made. They're not just cropped versions of the desktop ones. So if you are interested, check out the links below. All right, let me quickly tell you about the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. It's an all-in-one website building platform, and it's super easy to use. All you have to do is visit squarespace.com/Spixel, start your own 14-day free trial, no credit card required, pick a template that you like, or you can just tell their AI to literally make one for you. It's super easy to do. And then you just drag and drop your images in the template, type your text. You can also tell their AI to just type the text for you, and it'll make it sound however you like it. And at this point, you should have a pretty decent website, pretty much ready to publish. It's that easy. I've done it myself. So click the first link in the description. It'll take you right to Squarespace, start your 14-day free trial, and get 10% off your first purchase. Now, I mentioned the USB-C hub at the back of the monitor to connect your laptop to, but there's actually one more way to do it, which is a lot better in my opinion. And this product has been probably the most used on my desk other than my computer. It's the CalDigit TS4. This is also a USB-C hub, and the reason why I really like it is because it's not only one of the best ones out there, but there are two ports on this that I use a lot. One of them is the SD card slot reader, and the other one is the headphone jack. Now, I know what you're thinking. The Mac Studio right beside it also has a card slot and a headphone jack. So why this? Well, you see, the SD card slot on the TS4 is a lot better because of the way the card pops in and out. And the headphone jack on the Mac Studio is at the back, so it's very hard to access that, making it almost unusable. So if you took this away from me, I would not be happy. But other than that, it has a total of 18 ports, so it basically extends the amount of ports that my Mac Studio has. And one of them is a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port. And without going into too much of the details, if you know what that is and what it's used for, that's really good. Now, when it comes to the mouse, I've been using the MX Master 3 for a very long time, and I really like this mouse. So my favorite feature has to be the horizontal scroll wheel it has, because it helps me scroll my timeline while editing. Not to mention a couple of programmable buttons it has, which also speeds up things a lot. It even has great battery life. It lasts for like 2-3 months on a single charge, and it charges back up in like 2 hours. And the cherry on top is that I can do a lot of the MacBook trackpad gestures on my Mac. For example, if I hold this hidden button and I swipe left and right, I can switch between the desktops, which is very similar to how it is on a MacBook. Now, I think it might be hard to call the next one an accessory, but it is so good that I almost feel the need to mention it. And I'm talking about the Mac Studio. That's right. I've been using this computer for a very long time, and I've used it for all kinds of things: photo editing, video editing, voiceover editing, Blender, browsing, watching videos, whatnot. And it just performs really good in pretty much all of those things. Although it's not perfect though, there are definitely some problems with it, especially when it comes to some of the design choices Apple decided to make with it. But I plan on making a full dedicated review video, and I'll talk about all the details in that video. But for now, overall, it's a really good computer, and I cannot imagine switching back to my PC after having used this. And what blows my mind is that how quiet this thing is. It does have a fan, but I could be doing like the most intensive task and I'll just never hear the fan, which is just impressive. Now, one of the problems it has is very little storage. This is the base model, and it comes with only 512 gigabytes of storage, which is not enough, especially for me. So to solve that problem, I've been using a NAS for several months, specifically the Synology DS923 Plus. And this thing has been a lifesaver. Every single video that gets recorded on this channel goes right to the NAS and gets backed up on that. So it's a huge part of my workflow. And what I love about it is that I can have like up to 50 terabytes of storage between the 4 hard drives. And even if one of them fails, I have nothing to worry about because all of the data can be recovered. So having this thing has been amazing for me, but I think it's great for families or even small businesses, especially if they deal with a lot of storage. Now, on the topic of editing videos, this is the headphone I use. This is the Beard Dynamics 770 Pro. And this thing is a very basic headset. It doesn't have Bluetooth. You cannot disconnect the wire. It doesn't fold, nothing, none of that. But it does one thing and one thing only very well. It produces very accurate sound, so it doesn't add extra bass or treble to make it sound nice. It just makes you hear exactly what the audio actually sounds like. And that's something very important for me while editing videos. So this is also a huge part of my workflow. Now, last but not least, I want to talk about desk mats, but they're kind of optional though, because I don't think you need a desk mat unless you are maybe a gamer, because the truth is it does improve the performance of your mouse. It makes it a little bit easier to glide, and it's a little bit smoother to handle the mouse. Other than that, I don't think they're like a necessity. But that's all for this video, and if you are interested to find out what my everyday carry is, then make sure to watch this video, and I'll see you there.